Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is a sole proprietorship? A sole proprietorship is typically a single person that is in charge of a business and is liable to pay any damages out of personal funds and if sued successfully. Typically, this business owner is not entirely alone. They may continue to network with other mental health professionals. The most famous sole proprietorship is Britney Spears. Her case is very well known and is linked to sole proprietorship, so I recommend looking up her case. What is the main purpose of establishing a therapeutic alliance? A. To establish trust, support, and collaboration with the client. B. To allow the client to become comfortable with themselves. C. To establish rapport with family members. Or D. To allow the client to feel safe in the external environment. The answer is A. To establish trust, support, and collaboration with the client. Usually, if you are working with children, games work, like Uno, Sorry, or even Battleship. Using play with children or even adolescents can help build that trust and support with the therapist. With adults, it may look different. They typically know what they need and what they want, so that rapport is quickly built, and it's usually done verbally. But a game or even art can help open the adult up as well. During a thunderstorm, a 6-year-old child in Paget's stage of preoperational thought, stage 2, says, "The rain is following me." This is an example of A. Egocentrism, B. Conservation, C. Centration, or D. Abstract thought. It is A, egocentrism, because during this stage of preoperational thought, a 6-year-old child is pretty egotistic because they think it's all about them. They believe that they are the center of the universe, and that is a key concept of egocentrism. The child believes that the world is all about them. What is an indemnity plan? An indemnity plan is the reimbursement to the client directly after the client has paid for a service. Usually, insurance companies have the clients pay for a deductible for the time of this service, and they will reimburse the clients for what they paid after a service. It could be similar to paying for a tip at a restaurant. The insurance will cover your meal, but you have to pay a small percentage to your waiter or waitress. A young professional experiencing low moods, loss of interest, poor concentration, and feelings of hopelessness was diagnosed with depression. His primary care practitioner advised cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Which of the following describes CBT? A. CBT changes the client's personality completely. B. CBT is the only psychological therapy available to treat depression. C. CBT aims to change behavior by understanding thought process and patterns. D. All of the above. The answer is C. CBT aims to change behavior by understanding thought process and patterns. A good example of this would be teaching a child how to tie their shoe. First, you have to explain how to tie your shoe. You gotta loop one lace, loop the other lace, put the bunny ears across from each other, go under the loop, and pull tight. Then you would demonstrate how to tie a shoe. And then you would have the child try to tie their shoe. When they get stuck, you explain the instructions again, demonstrate, and then try again. Repeat the process over and over again until the child understands the thought process and pattern of how to tie the shoe. which is the behavior. Another example of CBT aims to change behavior by understanding the thought process and patterns is having someone write down instructions on how to make a PB&J sandwich. Children know the behavior of making a PB&J sandwich, but does not fully understand the thought process and patterns on how to write the instructions of a PB&J sandwich. And when it is read back to them, or the adult makes the sandwich by the instructions of the children, that is when they learn the connections of the behavior to the thought process and patterns. And that's all 5 questions for this episode. Thanks for listening. Keep calm and study on.